working. Okay. Thank you so much for your patience. I'll have to go back and erase those other false starts. But hello, everyone. Hello. I'm Erin Siniva. I am your high priestess of this temple. This is a temple of the heart, a temple of the rose. My crown is drifting. And we're here to connect to the greater spirit, the greater reality, the greater love, greater consciousness. And so I welcome the presence of our higher selves, our highest selves. I welcome the presence of our multidimensional guides and guardians, our allies in the light. I welcome the keepers of the temple, Divine Mother Isis and Sophia, the embodiment of these energies that have come through living vessels such as Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Kuan Yin, Bridget, and many more. We welcome you here. We welcome also the frequency of innocence in the unicorns. We welcome the unicorns to stand in the 4 cardinal directions, restoring all distortions and inversions of truth. We protect this container with 4 pillars of light: harmony, love, truth, and respect. Maintain the frequencies here. And I call upon our protector dragons to encircle us and alight atop this double terminated crystalline structure of our sacred container. Thank you so much. We're here to talk about the things that help us, that serve us, that bring us back to ourselves. And today I have noticed that myself and a lot of people that I know are incredibly ungrounded. Right now, we're at this time where we're in between the eclipses. And in a few days, less than a week, we will have the lunar eclipse. We started with the solar eclipse, when that is the full moon, and the lunar eclipse on the new moon, where the Earth will be in between the sun and the moon. In this time, we're balancing these energies between Aquarius and Leo. And the south node of the moon being in Leo and the north node being in Aquarius. These are very interesting energies to be juggling. The very fiery solar time of Leo, which is ending. We're at the end of it now. And but these nodes are going to be in this position for the next 2.5 years, I believe, not 3. So in this energy where the north node of the moon, which is very much forward progression, right? It's the aim, right? It's the way that we're headed. It's how we want to be presented in the world. It's how we want to thrive, right? It's our external world. It's our driving force. And that's in Aquarius. And the south node being in Leo is quite interesting for the internal world, right? So you might be experiencing a lot of fiery energy with your emotions. Now, it's already, for the Northern Hemisphere, a bright, sunny, very hot summer. So to have the internal emotional world fiery, what do you think is going to happen? There's going to be a lot of people tapping into their anger. And that is also something that I'm seeing a lot with other parents as well. I'm seeing it with other parents. My children have already started school. And I've been, I talk to the other parents. Our kids hang out after school too, not to mention that they're, together all day, but then they love to go to the playground after school and we hang out and we talk and they're, volatile is a word that's been used, that the energy in this woman's house, but even in general, the energy has been volatile, ungrounded, shaky, right? And so I was like, oh, sounds like everybody's ungrounded, Hi, Donna. So I handed her crystal last week when she was telling me all of the things that were building these energies that she's still in this volatility. And I happen to have an amethyst in my pocket that my son had put in my pocket. I don't know where he got it. Somewhere in the house. There's crystals everywhere. But he picked up this amethyst and put it in my pocket, and I knew it wasn't for me. And the day that I gave it to this other mother, I was like, I had that awareness that, oh, this isn't medicine for me. I'm meant to give this to someone. And eventually I did. And she even said that amethyst stone was helping her to stay in her heart and come back to herself, right? So we can use crystals. We can use tools. The earth, excuse me while I adjust my crown again. It's like sliding back, I think, because my hair's wet. So we can use crystals. We can work with the earth to help us ground. The amethyst is helping her heart, right? The amethyst is there to help her just be soothed, transmute whatever is potentially hurting or harming her experience, right? But at the same time, we're in this place where we really need to be utilizing the earth. We're not here just for fun, but we're here to actually work with nature. Hi, Lori, nice to see you. Ruth is here. Hi, Miriam. And getting distracted from trying to hone into energetics. Ruth is talking about listening to the dragon codes that I released almost 2 years ago when my dragons first came in. And I brought in these activation codes as well as emerald crystal heart codes and solar codes, solar dragon codes, to help me acclimate to the dragons. And so those videos are available for your own acclimation with the dragon energies that are on the planet at this time. Those can be helpful. Hello, Justin. Welcome. So think about all of the ways that the earth can help you. Not just, let's just start out with touching your feet to the earth, right? How often do you actually touch a tree? Do you live in a city? Do you live in an urban dwelling? Do you live in a rural setting? Right? It's much harder for people who dwell in the city to have access to nature. Depending on the city that you're in, and in some places, the creation of the city can be very well done with parks and the nature held intact in a lot of places. But unfortunately, a lot of cities are not like that. And so you have to go out of your way to make sure that you are connecting with the earth, getting your bare feet on the soil, on the grass, in the garden. If you are in an urban setting, I highly recommend having potted plants because you're going to develop relationships with those plants, and even just being with those plants are going to help you stay grounded. Now, if you use those pots for growing food, even better. So that's the first thing. Second thing is, what do you have in your home that will help you be grounded, right? So you might have, as I said before, crystals or herbs. Even your dried herbs are going to help you to be grounded. You might have sage, basil, oregano, right, for cooking. These are great, actually protective herbs. energetically protective herbs. But when you cook with them and when you eat them on a regular basis, they help you to integrate the multidimensional fields around you. Did you know that? So that's another way to be very conscious about the food that you eat and putting fresh or dried herbs into the food that you eat. Not only will it support your immune system and help with healthy cleansing of heavy metals, right? Herbs are really, especially cilantro and parsley, those kind of dense herbs, they can really help you to cleanse and to purge heavy metals. I actually take a cilantro tincture on a daily basis to keep everything moving, right? Then there are earthing materials that you can get that help you to connect to the earth while you're in your house. But your breath is the most powerful tool that you have, combined with action in the voice, using your sound, your instrument that you take everywhere with you, right? So, of course, while I like jam it with a cough, but you may or may not know this, and maybe I kind of look a little bit like one today. I thought it was kind of cute that I would wear this copper, crown that I made to help me just protect my psychic openness. That's what copper is really good for. So sometimes I'll wear it like this, in the front. look at it, silly, pushing my hair down. And that can actually, so I have it there in front of my third eye to also help and protect. Wearing copper can be grounding because it's really good for the blood, right? So working with the blood, if you need to cleanse or purify your blood, working with copper will be really helpful. If you're anemic, actually taking copper, ingesting copper is going to help your blood vessels be healthy and active, moving. Right? We want our blood vessels to not be coagulating. We want them to release. And that's also where toning and singing and using your breath can be incredibly helpful, profoundly helpful for your nervous system, especially. So let's do a little bit of toning to assist our centers, right? Let's create coherence in our bodies so that we can really support ourselves. And here's the thing too, you've heard me talk about this, if you've followed me or if you've been listening for a while, that frequency, maintaining your frequency is a form of self-preservation, right? We are in these spiritual combatives, time where there's a massive amount of false light that's being put out, right? To kind of hook people in who don't have their own grounding center, to hook you into narratives that don't serve your highest good, perhaps save your complexes with the Federation of Light, the Galactic Federation, right? Or that you're listening to, channels that are not actually connecting to highlight beings, right? So then there's also the external forces that we're being bombarded with, EMFs, right? Cell towers, Wi-Fi, all of this stuff. And yeah, that's awesome, Ruth. So, we need this help, right? So when we are either listening to healing music or creating healing sounds with our own body, we are fighting frequency with frequency. We're honing in on our own frequency and protecting ourselves this way, but we are also maintaining a field of energy around us that is quite palpable to the magnetic fields or to the oh gosh, what's the word? Not the toroidal fields of the earth, though. There's another word for it. I'm trying to remember. So we're going to tone, and hopefully my microphone will be able to handle this. And as we do this, I want you, and you're going to join me. I'm not just doing this for you. You're going to join me. We're going to, where did I put my tuning fork? I moved it. I took it away. I moved it. What did I do with it? I don't know exactly where my other tuning forks are. Do I need it? No. Okay. So coming into your breath, take some deep cleansing breaths. I want you to bring your awareness to your belly, to the breath that moves the belly. All children breathe belly breaths until a certain age where they start to get more and more dysregulated and stop breathing belly breaths, right? It's a natural shift in today's society, unfortunately. It's natural for us to leave that centeredness, but for children, it's always there. For us, we have to return to it. We have to consciously return to it. So I invite you now to inhale and allow the belly to expand as you inhale and squeeze as you exhale. Yeah. Try that again. Now, I want you to hiss on the exhale, and this is going to slow the breath down even more. Inhale. And when you get to that end of the breath, squeeze the belly and squeeze out even more of that air right there. So we've got that going, right? Now we're going to add some sound. I want you to be gentle with your sound. We're not trying to, and let me just tell you that even if my sound sounds like that, I have a particular training in my body. I have muscle memory. I'm a trained opera singer. Okay. Did you know that? Did you know that? I'm a trained opera singer. So I have a certain intensity in my sound. I also have muscle memory of, being able to use my body in a certain way and use my sound in a certain way. So I want you to sound like you. Don't try to sound like me, okay? All right. So taking that big belly breath in through the nose. And you can stay there at that tone if it feels comfortable for you. I'm going to go even lower because I'm going to get more resonance in my body and it's going to help me. So I wanted to provide a higher note for you first. If that's comfortable, stay there. If you feel like you can go lower and there can be more oomph in your sound, go ahead and do that. Follow me and feel the vibration in the body. So you probably heard my harmonies at the end there, singing the harmonics just by changing the shape of my tongue. So this is another way to add frequency to the frequency that you're carrying and supporting yourself. Take some cleansing breaths if that was kind of a lot for you. It could have been. But what you might notice is a settling in your body, a settling in your field, right? And as you go through, as you experience this movement within yourself through the sound, you will notice that your whole body is listening. You will notice that parts of yourself that might have felt tight are just surrendering. They're just letting go because you need this, right? You need this settling. So let's do it some more. This is also a practice that I do for myself in order to prepare for meditation, to prepare for ritual or ceremony. This is something that I do quite often, especially when I am out of sorts, when I'm grounded, when I'm ungrounded, when I'm anxious. I need to tone. And my toning is helping me to, regulate so many things. Some of you have taken my Be Your Own Sound Healer workshop, and it's incredibly important to have this relationship with your voice, to use this instrument that's always with you, to use this instrument for grounding, for connection, for support, for regulation of the self. So we are supporting the nervous system, both parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. We're affecting the cardiovascular system. We're affecting the respiratory system. That's a little obvious. But by producing sound, we're hydrating our blood cells. We are releasing dopamine into the system because of the frequency of the vibrating head. There's an organ inside the ear behind the cochlea called the sacculus. And when you make a tone, when you sing, when you create sound that is sustained, not just speaking, but is sustained, it vibrates. And when it vibrates, it sends messages to the thalamus, hypothalamus, to release dopamine. That's why we love to sing. That's why singing is so fun, because it literally makes you feel good, right? So with this, let's do a little bit more toning and notice how your energy might just calm, and you might feel yourself in your body and grounded. How does it feel? So I'm feeling called to do a little bit of energetic clearing. And I think this is because, well, maybe we need it. Maybe that's why. But also because when I do toning, I'm usually in session right? Like supporting people in their healing. And I'm just gonna do this, put some weight on here. Is that gonna help? My poor old microphone stand. It's so old. It doesn't want to stay up, but that's okay. So I'm going to allow, and this might feel like the craziest thing. You might, I love hearing that you suddenly got into a calm state mentally. Hi, Petey. Nice to see everybody over on Instagram. I see you. I have to go look, though. I have to go look at you. So let me do something so I can see both at the same time. There we go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to allow my dragon energy to come forward, and I'm going to invite my dragon to do what needs to be done. This will happen through light language. We're going to be, I can feel extraction will be happening, impediments I'm hearing. Removing threads of false reality, I'm hearing. What else are we doing, Ramara? Lightening the field in order to receive the higher levels of consciousness that are available to us. So there's going to be, hi Lenny over in New Zealand. We love Aotearoa. I gotta say it right. I have a lot of spiritual ancestry, or I just have a big connection with the Maori, and I wish I wish I could go to New Zealand right now. So we are working with the dragon. So if you have a connection to your dragons, this is a great time for you to call them forward. Excuse me. This is a great time to call them forward and ask them to assist with my dragon, who's going to be working in your field, to assist this process of extracting what doesn't serve. Okay? Whew. Anything else with intentions, Ramara? So you do need to give us permission, though. So you can put that in the comments. Just say, I give you permission. You can also say, I am sovereign and you have permission to work in my field. Something like that. Or you can just say it out loud. I give Erin Soniva permission to work in my field. Okay. So I'm going to allow Ramara to come a little bit more forward into my field. Not full takeover, like she does in the Dragon Clan circles. Thank you, Ramara. Connecting everybody to their higher selves in this divine moment, connecting to calling forward your guides and guardians to come and assist with this support. Just to remind you, we are extracting false energies, false light, false timelines, false orientation, programming that's being put into the field of humanity. We're going to extract those, and everyone is going to need to continue working on maintaining your own frequency, your own vibrational field from this place. And it's something that you might need to return to. You can come back to this recording and return to this clip, this moment, this divine moment. But you can also work with your dragons to do this work with you to extract the fall light extremities. And I mean that by they're like villi in our field, right? We have these these external energetic parts of ourselves that move actually beyond the aura. And those are being affected by the frequency fields that we're being bombarded with. So those are going to be, we're going to be supporting the extremities of our energetic field so that we can purify the information and restore the distortions. And we thank the unicorns also for being here and supporting this process. Here we go. Larga vediamo sotto e vede da halleria ma cotoia da halleriando sotto e vediamo. Avo halar che su kushu kotia ma che sitia ma che avlo rote ma casatia. Shua. Shua lar che fa setia ma che tai vota e le diamma e le diamo shu su cotta va halleria. Shua lar shua. We are going to invoke now specific codes from the Divine Mother and the higher consciousness of the seventh dimension. Seventh dimension, high heart frequencies. These are beyond the bliss. These are beyond joy and possibly anything that you've ever felt before. We're going to bring these codes in to be integrated, and so that they can be, you might, be able to begin to feel them in this moment, in this day, but we're actively, intentionally bringing in this higher levels of consciousness into the field that many are already anchoring on the planet. You might already be doing that as well. Yavalariana Satia for Haladia Mati and the Satio Toya Valariana Yamantoya Valadia Mati. Just letting those lower densities fall away. You might notice conscious thoughts, negative thoughts coming to the surface, and you just say, thank you, goodbye. Thank you, goodbye. Let them fall into the earth to be composted, to be renewed. So bring your attention to the heart center, high heart and heart center. have these layers of mind. Your true mind is in deep within these layers. Outside of the true mind is programming, belief systems, fears, right? And these layers of programming we have to move through. We have to allow them to fall away and just intend for them to fall away, to not give them any time, to not give them any quarter, right? They don't deserve your attention. This might be politics. This might be active war scenarios, or I don't want to say too much of what they are. You know what they are. They're in your field. They pit you against people who are different than you. They create divisiveness within humanity. These programs must be cleansed from the mind. And we're extracting what we can, but you have to make the conscious effort to remove these programs. The polarity of this world is shifting. It's becoming stronger because there are individuals. This is an individual basis. We must always be coming back to the center and choosing to be in the center, not, and I will tell you, do not identify with your political party. Choose the center. Do not identify with your religion. Choose the center. Do not take sides. Choose the center. This doesn't mean that you are not advocating for peace and equality. Of course you are. You are holding the place where peace and equality resides, in the center, right? This is our job. Society in the world does not change because people shout for things to change. They change because the people change themselves. When we raise our consciousness, we rise up out of the lower programming agendas. And even I know the parts that I participate with things that I have strong beliefs around, right? And even I have to raise up out of that programming, come back to the high heart, right? Come back to that pure essence of who I am and what my mind has for me, my true mind, my consciousness connected to the one consciousness source, and my true heart, my true heart connected to the one heart source, right? So this is all, work that we have to do for ourselves in order to change at the collective level. That makes sense, right? Because your reality reflects your inner world. So if you're not tending to your inner world, the outer world will maintain chaos. Plain and simple. This is obvious. You're here because you have even an ounce of spiritual orientation in your life. And with your little ounce of spiritual orientation, that little bit will bring you back to yourself again and again. If you give notice to it, if you give precedence, right? Like if you allow it to build upon itself, that's where using the precedence of having a spiritual experience. I know I've experienced this before. I can do it again, right? And there's a lot of people who have profound experiences and then spend their life trying to get back to that profound experience, right? Instead of just simply moving forward from that profound experience and seeing how life leads you to the next thing that might be quite similar, but on a different level. You can't keep chasing that, that energy, that frequency of what came before, because you're not there anymore, right? It's like drug addicts. You experience heroin for the first time, and the first time, according to users, there's nothing like the first time, but then they spend the rest of their addiction, right, the rest of their experience trying to get back to that first experience. And that's not going to happen. And it's very similar in the spiritual world, where we might have this profound connection with Creator or with Source, with this divine blissful energy that is here for us if we know how to return to it, right? But we're constantly chasing while also living in this modern world. And so we're modern mystics, right? Like, we're here working with ancient energy. We're remembering ourselves. We're bringing our gifts forward, but we're also remembering how to regulate the spiritual nervous system, how to stay grounded, right? How to keep listening, how to be continuously advancing and evolving in your psychic abilities and in your spiritual connection to all that is. And that happens through your active participation in spiritual energy. So connecting to your higher self, having a relationship with your guides, a conscious, continuous attempt at maintaining the center. Maintaining the center. So that you're not pulled left, right, up, down, far from your own purpose. And this whole world is here to distract you from your purpose, because once you wake up to who you truly are, what you're actually capable of, you destroy the programming. You upset the archons. Because they lose power. They've lost power over you every time that you bust through a block, every time that you overcome a fear, every time that you manifest something from just out of your own heart's desire for it, knowing that you're fulfilling a purpose. Every time that you hold healing energy for yourself or for someone else, an archon goes hungry. Right? It's like you and I, we are actively changing the universe because we refuse to participate in dark-laden programming. We're actually actively extracting it from our fields because we have awareness, because we have a conscious awareness of, oh, that's false light. Oh, this is the reincarnation loop. Oh, shit, right? This is something that's going to keep me trapped, right? So it's really, and I would say, it's easy for me. It's easy for me because I have done a lot of work. I've pursued my abilities. I've pursued my spiritual evolution ever since I left home for college, right? I was just always on this path of like, what is it? Who am I? What am I here for? Even while I was singing, and whether I thought, that if I wanted to be a professional opera singer, which I didn't, because I think I was just too intimidated by how much ego it takes to survive in that industry. Healthy ego, you gotta have healthy ego, but you gotta have like a really kind of healthy ego, if you know what I mean. So, and I knew, like, right after graduating, I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like that, So instead, I just worked on living, and then once I was doing, 21 was when I met my first ritual, and in community. And I, for the next 3 or 4 years, I was in community, pagan community, doing ritual, learning about the goddess and learning about my power, realizing that I was a channel. And I even wanted to call myself vessel, because I was like, oh my God, I'm a channel. What do I do with this? And the community couldn't handle me owning how I saw myself. And here I am, over 20 years later, a professional channel. And I said this on the podcast before, that if only my community at the time could recognize, even through my own, whatever, if I had ego shrouding the experience, like if only I were encouraged to nourish my channel, if only I were supported to understand how to do that, how to control that, how to, maybe I would be a lot farther along. And I don't want to regret, right? I'm happy who I am, how I am, where I am. And I want to keep growing and continuing forward. And I want to support all of you. I want to support you in knowing who you are, activating that, and actively participating with these helpers. Poe has asked me to talk about dragons. What do you want to know? What do you want to know about dragons? How can I support you? Well, the best thing, today is the third Thursday, and so this is a great day to join my Dragon Circle. The Dragon Clan meets in an hour through my Patreon. And so go to patreon.com and /Erin Saniva and join for free. Join my community for free, and you will see the post there called Break On Through that I posted yesterday. And it has the information for the Dragon Call in an hour. The Zoom link will be there. Thank you for saying that, Home Sweet Pal. I am exactly where I am supposed to be. Thank you so much. Oh, and I'm glad that you had an energetic release. That's beautiful. That's how I refer to tears, because that's what you're doing. You're moving energy. And I'm glad that you got to have that release. Wonderful. Okay, my friends. So 2 quick announcements before we go. Psychic Empowerment course starts in October. That's for 6 weeks. And the Magdalene Mentorship starts at the end of September for 5 months. If you are interested in really knowing and learning all of the things that I have learned along the way and remembered from other lives as well, I'm teaching it. This has 13 modules, including dragons. And so we will be learning the ceremonial ritual arts. We will be developing our psychic abilities. This is for women only, the Magdalene Mentorship. We will be connecting to the divine feminine mysteries and our womb magic. We will be accessing the Akashic records and knowing how to do that in multiple ways, and beyond. Perhaps the halls of a mentee for you, or cosmic records as well. And then learning spirit releasement therapy, supporting yourself in your sovereignty, right? As well as be your own sound healer, learning to tone safely and use your voice, your power, your light language, your dragon friends to heal quantumly. So it's a very comprehensive course, and we are still, I'm extending the early bird registration until the end of the month. So you get $500 off if you put in your deposit before the end of the month. And if you would like to know more about this, please go to divinesinging.com and reach out, or just reach out to me directly here, and we can chat about it, see if it, if we're a fit for each other. Because I'm not everybody's spot of tea, let me tell ya. But if you like humor and warm motherly love and intense energies, what else? How else would you describe me? Friends who know me, students of mine. I laugh a lot. I make fun of myself, but I'm also very serious. And I'm a really good teacher. If I don't, if I do say so myself, I'll toot my own horn. Thank you for coming today. I really appreciate your presence with me. And, Carol Lee, I love you. Thank you so much for your words. Love the light you are in this world. So honored to know you. I wish that those comments would come over into the StreamYard app, but it's not. So I have to have these windows open. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you to the divine beings that hold this container every time. Thank you to our own higher selves. Thank you, Rumara, Healer Dragon. Thank you to all of the beings who have come while we've been here. We're so grateful, and we release you. Thank you, unicorns. Stay if you will, go if you must. Blessed be. I will see you soon. See you next week. I will have a treat for you, interviewing my very first nanny for my children, or for my new children, I should say, for my younger children. She's a Waldorf expert. She is teaching again in Idaho, but she is a veteran. She's a Waldorf veteran, and she's an incredible woman, and she has a beautiful offering for our spirits. And so we're going to talk about her. We're going to talk about what she's doing as an artist and so much more. So most likely going to be pre-recording that podcast, and you'll get it here at the same time as usual. I love you all so much, and we'll see you again soon. Take care.